Of course, earlier, speaking of porn stars, we mentioned the beautiful Kevin Brennan. I
Mm,
think Misery Loves Company, it's quite possibly the funniest podcast in the world.
mm.
I don't know if Kevin's in persona, if that's for real. Either way, it's fucking hilarious. I actually hope that he's insane because that makes it even funnier.
He
But
totally is. He
oh,
totally is that person. That's what I love about him. You know what I mean? Even before the shows, he's just got that look on his face. He doesn't even relax until he's off stage. You know what I mean? Then he'll crack a smile. But before, he just fucking has this fucking, I don't know if it's anxiety or whatever, but it's like it makes him what he is. You know what I mean? When he does the radio, like he sees shit that's out there, or I'll say, hey, look at this, you know what I mean? I'll send him something, and he fucking gets it right off the bat because it's somebody trying to be something they're not, and he loves to attack that. He loves to attack the phoniness of people, which is great because, I mean, it's like most people wouldn't be assholes if there was people like Kevin Brennan around to kind of point it out that they're assholes to everyone else and the reasons why. So to me, that's what makes it great radio, great entertainment. Like the show is just like I love listening to him. You know what I mean? I studied him. I studied his timing. So when I went on there, I knew his timing. I knew how he went. I do the same thing with Kumia. You know what I mean? So you understand how Kevin will always go into a longer story, then he'll stop for a second, then he'll throw a second part at it. Sometimes he throws a third part. So you can't jump in right away because that's his style. And to be a good guest, you have to be able to roll with the host.
yeah, when I interviewed Brennan, he was going off on all these rants so much so that he literally had a rag on his desk that he would pick up to wipe the saliva off his face from all the anger he was spitting.
Yeah, he's an angry fucking dog almost. You know what I mean? He's a fucking junkyard dog. You know what I mean? And he just fucking waits for somebody to come over that fucking fence. And that's what he loves. He is a treasure. You understand? You don't find people like once I realized, I started looking at his stuff and watching him a lot more and trying to figure out the madness behind him. I was like, this is a guy that should be the biggest thing because this is what, like I said, this world needs people like him and Kumia. You know what I mean? They're different styles, but this is the future coming.
I gotta ask you though about Brennan's feud with Chad Zumock because
Hmm.
the first time I ever heard Misery Loves Company, it was Chad and Kevin,
Yeah.
and I thought this is the best on-air chemistry since like Opie and Anthony. It was so fucking funny. I would go back and re-listen, and
Mm.
then little did we know behind the scenes there was a lot of feuding and fallouts. But do you think? And I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but do you
No.
think that Brennan maybe crossed the line a few times because there was a thing where I seen him making jokes about Chad Zumock's mum who's passed away, and
Hmm.
for me, I thought that was like, oh god, that's a bit like I
Yeah, but
like an
okay,
edgy joke, but that's a bit fucked up.
okay. But here's the whole thing. When Kevin says something, I'm sure Kevin didn't investigate that far into it. I'm sure Chad brought up the story and then said she's this, she was that. You know what I mean? So then Kevin, of course, is gonna. You know what I mean? It's out there. It's like Rob Soul says shit that. You know what I mean? I get it, and then I run with it. He gets mad, and I'm like, well, I would never know about it unless you brought it up. I mean, you listen when people talk. People are always fucking. They give out too. People get information. They give out too much information when they get comfortable, and and then if you're going to get into an argument, everything's going to come out that and that's the way it is. You can't get mad. You can't get mad. You fucking realize what who you're working with. You know what I mean? I work with Stern. I was hero. I was goat. I left like a goat. I fucking like a little fucking. I had bad days there. because I open myself up big, and you have to expect it. And that's what makes great radio. And I always said it, it's comedy and drama. Drama fucking is fucking great when it happens.
Well, I do think it's great, but I also hope that Brennan and Kevin
And
start
Chad.
dating again, because
Hmm.
that was a great show. And then there's no fucking partnerships in podcasting really anymore.
Well, that's another thing. I was telling Kevin, like, you know what I mean? I got what I see him is Kevin doesn't need guests. He needs a show, like a show with
Mm.
like two other people and Adam, you know what I mean? And you do a show. That's all somebody like him needs. Because sometimes you have a guest and they talk too much or they don't talk enough. It's like it's useless. Like we don't use a lot of guests on Levyland because we don't need them. And I like the show format. I like having the show with there's just people around me that get what's going on. And that's why it's interesting to see what's going to happen with all of us in the future, because Anthony's making some changes up there, and Kevin will be there wherever he wants to be. I would say. I think we'll be there, doing a show. I'm willing to do whatever asks of me. You know what I mean? If somebody said, "Hey, come and do this, do that," I'm there in a second, because I always like to go. Like I always have, like, okay, I'm gonna go with the best people. To me, the two best people out there are Kevin Brennan and Anthony Cumia. So that's where I want to be, because that's what I did with Howard at the time. Howard was the big fish. Okay. I want to be with the big fish. So that's where I push to be on.
Yeah. Plus, they're both totally hot, right?
Oh, awesomely hot. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
and fun and good people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Anthony's like one of the nicest guys around, besides being a guy that can make you look so much better than you are, and that's why it's the easiest show. I try, if you watch when I'm on there, he grabs the paper, goes to read, the news. I just change the subject and go into something, and then he starts rolling with it. And I do that every time. Watch, I'll be on in May again, and you'll see. Every time he goes to try to go to the paper, I'm gonna try to fucking cock block it, because we don't need it. You know what I mean? We don't need no fucking news. Because I know how to get him. I know how to get, Kevin going, like, just about life. You know what I mean? It's like, you don't need to talk about every day is entertaining in my life. You understand? It's something crazy. I've worked doing it in a house. My wife tried to surprise me by putting crown molding in with some other guy, and that to surprise me when I came back from work in Nevada, and the guy fucked it up totally. We had to rip it down. It's ridiculous what fucking happened. I was gonna kill her, and then fucking we were almost breaking up again, and this is what happened. But it's like every day to something. I don't have a day. If I had cameras on me every day, you'd be fucking amazed. It's just amazing the shit that goes on every day.
But do you think that Kevin Brennan is basically Stone Cold Steve Austin?
That's the way I see him. I every time I see him walk in a room, I hear the music hit,
Yeah.
and fucking, and I guess it's on, motherfucker. It's on, and that's what it is. Like when I say, I'm like, Kevin, I'm up there. I'm going up to fucking Cumia. Come in. You know what I mean? We go in and fucking, nobody's gonna say no to that. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Nobody's gonna say no to that, because we go in there and we rock it. We rock the room now. And it's just like it's like a takeover. It's like the NWO, and that's what it's going to be when we come over. When we come over, it's going to be big. It's going to be the biggest it's been, compound. I
Uh,
guarantee it.
Interesting fact. A
Hmm.
couple of years ago, I interviewed Eric Bischoff from
Hmm.
WCW fame, and because it was nearly my birthday at the time, as a gift, he made me an official NWO member.
Oh,
So
nice.
you owe me some money for using our copyright. Uh,
Hmm.